Super Bowl champion Charles Omenihu is here. Can't wait to talk to him. Speaking of tackling, we've got lots of draft ins and outs to cover. One day closer to Detroit Bears. You are on the clock. DJ Reader, he's taken on the Bears twice a year now. A Detroit line, that's going to take some getting used to. Can't wait to talk to him about the expectations going from one team with Super Bowl expectations to one in the NFC North that had all the hype last year. What are the Lions all about here in 2024? Also, hoops. We got John Rosin on the program. All right, Up and Adam Show. Thanks, guys, for watching. Whether you're on YouTube, I'm looking at the live chat right now. We're always doing giveaways. We like to give away the money. We have a marketing call today. I like to ask those fabulous people, hey, Suze, hey, Chris, hey, Laurenelle, can we give away some bonus bets to our awesome viewers and people who are the really true, the nitty-gritty, the sick pups that are like craving NFL all year round. So definitely follow us on YouTube. That's usually how we give stuff away. What up, Tony and Jay and Jordan and Bradley and Michael and Andrew. And good morning to Angel Reese and good morning to Caitlin Clark, who's advancing. What a game and epic just time in sports this is. We were just hearing Run It Back, NBA stuff. John Rosin will be here to set us up for the men's tourney side of things. You guys can have a lot of fun over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Hamilton's going to get in here in just a second to talk odds on some of these stories, but I do want to get into the NFL. It is April 2nd, and I think we should start today, as some people somewhere, I'm sure, start every day with quotes from John Harbaugh. There's one that is making the rounds yesterday. He told reporters at the league meeting just last week that, quote unquote, there is no doubt that the Ravens offense is going to look a little different in 2024 beyond just the addition of Derrick Henry. And he said that Lamar will be a big part of the architecture of this new look offense. Who knew? Yay, yay, confetti. First of all, that's a great thing. Lamar should be heavily involved in what this offense does, looks like, is look at him, just gorgeous, okay? They've got OC Todd Monken, Harbaugh there, of course. They should take Lamar into account with what he feels comfortable with, what will work, play to his strengths like we saw a lot unfold last year when Lamar was playing the way he was playing. And I hope with this architecture that we're talking about comes really one word comes to mind, and it's just freedom. Let him be him. Let him do his thing at the line of scrimmage like you just saw there. That quote from Harbaugh brought me back to a conversation. I had a couple cocktails, sure, but I was sitting there with Deshaun Jackson and T.O. There was no time in this show. They literally did a podcast within a podcast on the set during Super Bowl week in Vegas, and Deshaun said flat out that the Ravens didn't give Lamar the necessary freedom, like I'm talking about, the control to audible, to do what he does best, and it's worth a listen. Take a look.
They're not allowing him to go to the line of scrimmage and be a Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. Right. They're trying to control that.
I get that. I don't know, like I said, I don't know. Like
so you expected him to go out. You expected him to get under center and see it.
To your
check,
point,
run.
To your point, like the RPOs is what we're discussing.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know how much leeway that they, like you're talking about, they're giving him to go up, and if he assesses or he sees.
But why?
I don't know. You have to ask Coach Harbaugh that.
No. It's Todd Monken. It's not Coach. I played last year.
Deshaun's got history with Todd.
It's not Harbaugh. He doesn't have nothing to do with the offense.
It was like the easiest day of work of my life. 4-hour show or 2-hour show, whatever it was. But it seemed like a 4-hour show because those two were just talking so much. But listen to what they're saying. It kind of went under the radar because there were so many news bites and things going on Super Bowl week. But, that's a former Raven. This is a massive revelation from Deshaun. And I wonder if what happened to this offense in the AFC Championship game made this Ravens staff open their ears and say we need to do things a little differently if we want to find our way to the Super Bowl and go back and win another one. I'd love to hear more about the specifics. I'm intrigued. You have my attention, Harbaugh and company and Monken. And Deshaun's kept it real on Monken the whole way through, as we had him on a lot last year to talk about this. But letting him riff, letting him do things is something I'm going to pay closer attention to in this offseason in this offense. Hammer, get in here. The weirdness of the whole Ravens thing is like people don't think Derrick Henry's going to make a big difference. Like there's a lot of I don't know. I think there's a lot of, nobody wants to give them the hype they deserve, maybe because they're burnt or it doesn't work out. There's something going on here, but these changes have me excited in the AFC. What are the odds looking like over at FanDuel Sportsbook when it surrounds this Ravens squad?
Yeah, and there is a lot to be excited about. When you look at the Super Bowl odds, FanDuel Sportsbook still has the Ravens with the third best odds to win the Super Bowl next year at plus 900. They're behind just the Niners, who have the best odds, and the Chiefs. 3 AFC teams in the top 4 there, as you can see. The Cowboys a little bit of a surprise there at 5. And in case you're wondering, to round out the top 10, you get the Bengals, not pictured here, the Eagles, Texans, and the Green Bay Packers at 10th.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm into that on the NFC side of things. I mean, that sounds like a fun thing to do over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Just a saying. Somebody's saying it's not legal in Florida. Drive on over, drive a couple states up to North Carolina. Drive over to Carolina. Listen, I can give you some good food recommendations, whoever that fan is that was saying that they can't get things done down there in Florida. I'm sure we're working on Florida. I can't wait to do a show live from Miami Beach. That sounds really fun. Last time you and I did a show together in Miami Beach, there was literally strippers on the beach on stripper poles practicing. Remember that? That
happened. Yeah, I do, yeah.
That was a good time. And from that, that reminds me of the Packers. It doesn't. It's okay. And I want to tell you, listen, we had Kurt Benkert on the show. Kurt Benkert spent time in that locker room in Green Bay, said Jordan Love's got this, called it before the last season happened. Then, of course, Love lit it up, especially down the stretch. Well, him and Aaron Jones, who's now departed. And this sort of got me thinking, because when I asked Kurt, he didn't really give yes, pay him. He didn't really, but I also asked him, what is the hesitancy with paying him? So I thought I'd get a more emphatic, no hesitancy, pay the man. Listen, if you're not aware, Jordan is entering the last year of his deal with the Packers. Our boy Goody, he's got a decision on his desk. He can try to, hide it under folders and, Rolodexes, all he wants, that file is right there. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Goody? Does he pay Love off of a good season, a great season, good/great season as a starter? Or does he let him play this year? Does he let him risk Jordan playing his way into a much bigger contract? A franchise tag situation? Or do you let Jordan Love hit the open market? I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I've seen articles out there preaching caution for Goody. Benkert said that the Packers need to be careful not to get into a Daniel Jones situation by paying him too early. Oh, I hated that. If I'm Goody, I'm doing everything I can, clearing everything else off my desk up there in Green Bay, and cheese curds aside, Piggly Wiggly flyers, get out of the way. I'm only focused on getting this deal done. First of all, Jordan showed me everything I needed to see down the stretch, and if you forgot, take a look at this. Over the second half of the season, Love, we love Love. Love was the NFL's leading passer. He threw 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. You think that's a joke? You think that's not, come on, this is a monster here. Leading the Packers to a playoff spot, right? That, first round beatdown of the Cowboys. Mwah. McCarthy in the shed, mwah. Aaron Jones, kind of a factor. I don't know about that. We're not gonna talk about Aaron Jones every time we talk about the Packers this year, but I probably will. I'll work his way into the conversation. But Love got better and better, more comfortable as the year went on. Youngest supporting cast in the entire NFL. They weren't supposed to be there. Was it a fluke? Is that what you're saying if you don't get a deal? Was it a fluke, Goody? Did you not make the right decisions pulling these young guys together to develop chemistry and ball out? I believe Love's only going to get better. And he's only going to continue to build with his receivers, and it's all going to follow through in an NFC that you could just roll through right now, potentially. Now, if you can lock him in right now at that value, which you should be able to, given he's only been a starter for 1 year, why wouldn't you? What's the argument against it? Make him an offer like the one the Giants gave Daniel Jones that slots him in top 11, top 12 among high-paid quarterbacks. Would Jordan pass on $40 million a year to make a bet on himself? I don't know. Make him say no and go from there. It's unique. It's kind of fun. It's something I talked about a lot during Super Bowl week, but I feel like nobody's really digging into the love of all of this. Goody. Don't get cold feet, Goody. Don't do it, Packers. Get it done. Show some faith in your quarterback. And I have faith in them because they seem to do things pretty well at the quarterback spot, if we're being honest. Okay, up next, Charles Omenihu. He loves it when I sing his name. That's just what I do. Yeah! He's joining the show. He's tackling everybody! Hey, Hams. Hammertron.
Hey, what's up?
I'm trying. I have a very specific. Hold on. A very specific. I think we start at the clip that I'd like out is like the full screen. Let me show you everything. Let me remind you. And I think the copy should speak to setting up what the situation is.
Okay, perfect.
Because I think I brought up Kirk before that, and then, yeah.
Yeah, I'll work with Jordan.
That's what I like. So it's short. I mean, what is the argument against him? Against it?
It's just a risk, not a big sample size to work off of. You know, if he regresses in year 2, you know, would it be a mistake? I'm with you. I don't see it being a mistake. I think they should go for it. I think he showed more than enough last year in his first year as a starter to show you that he can be the guy.
Yeah.
Also, have to say, high comedy, the Deshaun and T.O. clip, the zoom out to you just with your feet up, the glasses on, those weird pants.
Okay, those pants, no one had a better Super Bowl week than those pants. Like,
True.
Everyone tried. Everyone comes to Radio Row trying to be flashy, trying to peacock around, trying to pull guests in them. Like, those pants beat everyone. That's just what happened.
I've been seeing tweets at our show of people ordering those pants.
I'm an influencer. Like, what else? I mean, come on. Whenever you see people dress sloppy and wearing sweatpants to work with their shoes half on, like, that's my hard work. That's my creative branding. What was I going to say to you? I'm excited to have Charles on. He has the kind of name that is not, you can't just say Omenihu. You just have to, there's like he's just like a broadcast booths. You have to just say, Charles Omenihu. Like it happens. It's forced. Natural.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark. Yes. Caitlin freaking Clark. And there's like Jason Sudeikis, who's like, why is he there? Why is he there? Why is it about Jason Sudeikis? I was like, what's going on here? You're an influencer, but don't post on TikTok anymore. Oh no. You know me, guys. I'm always posting on the TikTok. All right, let's do this.
Zappy under pressure. Sack. The ball is out, and the Patriots are on top of it. Charles Omenihu making a bigger and bigger impact in his first year with Kansas City.
Whoever that broadcaster was did it wrong because it's not Charles Omenihu with another tackle for the millionth time this season. It's Charles Omenihu! 5-year NFL vet. Great to see you. Texans, Niners. But you just had a career season that we're about to celebrate. Career highs in tackles and sacks, and in only 11 games. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I appreciate you having me on. How are you? I'm
great. So you win the Super Bowl. What does it feel like to be now Super Bowl champion Charles Omenihu?
It got a good ring to it, for sure. It feels good. Something that, like a dream come true, something that guys in the league just yarn for. So to be able to achieve that in my 5th year, great feeling. Hopefully we can do it again next year.
Did it go by quickly, like that whole day? You win the Super Bowl. Was it, like I know, like obviously you're dealing with an injury and all of that, but what were sort of the emotions as it is? I don't know how you would describe it.
It's like euphoric for real. Like it's a crazy feeling. Like when Miko caught the ball, you have a quick like feeling of like, dang, we just won for real. Like, and then all the energy, the rush just fills your body, and like I almost forgot that I was hurt for a quick second. The way I just tried to like hobble on the field when everybody was just rushing the field. But it was a great feeling. Something I want to feel over and over and over.
And you had 2 ACLs in it. It was not a Super Bowl that you had nothing to do with. You had a big impact. Those big arms of yours dragging guys down. But you did have ACL surgery. Yesterday I had Nyheim Hines on the show. And, obviously we have Kirk Cousins dealing with an ACL. You have an ACL. And Nyheim was telling me about how brutal the rehab can be at sometimes. What has it been like, and how are you feeling really?
It's definitely tested my patience for sure. I'm a month out. Well, I'm 6 weeks out now. So I feel good. I started walking last week. So that was like a happy moment. The rehab process is super repetitive until you get to the next stage. But like, it's so much time between from being able to do one thing to the next thing to the next thing. So it can be, for me, I think it's just mentally taxing because it's repetitive. It's repetitive. I can't do certain things. I'm not, I gotta be assisted to do certain things. So different kind of experience for me, but this being my first injury ever, I think it's just kind of a period in my career where it'll help me grow in other aspects.
Yeah, is there something in it that you're grateful for? Like, are you able to find gratitude in this hell moment?
Yeah, I think it just kind of makes me take a step back as far as like, okay, yeah, you won the Super Bowl, but you have to deal with this, and like you were on top of the world for a second, then you feel like you're at rock bottom, but then are you really at rock bottom? Like, you really think about things that could have been worse. I got an opportunity to help my team go to the Super Bowl. I had my best season of my career in such a short period of time. So I can look at it as woe is me, but also I can look at it as an opportunity just to grow as a person, to revamp my body, to learn just the intricacies of my knee. So that my health going forward in my career can only be better.
Now you have a docuseries about this, so I'm asking you so many questions, and I'm asking you and you can see it on YouTube, by the way, and you made the decision to sort of let people in to what your rehab process is, which is amazing. Everything's filmed, and when we're talking about gratitude, I just wanted to give you a second. And, shout out to your mom, because she warmed my heart in this.
Yeah, words can't describe how much I appreciate my mother. My mom is my rock. She is my reason for everything. She is my why. She's helped me throughout this whole process. She's kept me steadfast, and I love her from the bottom of my heart. I was telling her, like, what you want for your thank you for doing this? Like, I tell her thank you all the time, make sure that she knows she's appreciated all the time. But it's like, I want to make her just even more happy for the fact that it's not easy helping somebody through this. And like, I was really like helpless. I couldn't do anything, nothing by myself. So the fact that she's been there every step of the way, I mean, you can't, as a man, as a son, you can't ask for a better mom.
I just wanted to give you that moment to give her some love, because you can just tell by watching it. I mean, you're also in the club in this docuseries. Is your mom going to be okay with you coming to LA? And also, like, what were the cameras not showing while you were out in Los Angeles, Charles?
So my mom wasn't so giddy about me going. I was at like a little bowling event. Like I told her, like, I have to do something before I go to surgery. I ain't gonna lie. I could not have just, because I was in the crib the whole time.
Right.
From therapy to icing my knee, doing exercise at home. I'm like, yo, I got a lot of homies out in LA, so I'm like, bro, I gotta do something before I'm down for the count. So we went out to go to this little bowling event, party kind of deal. So yeah, I mean, I show the fans every aspect. I show the fans me going out, me training, me had meeting up with one of my favorite artists and good friends. So it was just kind of all inclusive, just
a good time. Well, we'll see if you move to LA. I thought that was it was so funny. But listen, you take us behind the scenes with these cameras, and it's a really nice peek, but we all know what we see on camera in these big moments. And let's go back and relive some of this, because I just want to, AFC Championship game, talk me through this strip sack of Lamar Jackson. I mean, unbelievable.
So like the series before, I wasn't so happy with myself, and I told myself, like, yo, you're gonna make a play. You're gonna make a play. Just keep grinding. And Ronnie Stanley, I could tell that was gonna be play action, so I kind of had a beat on it. And I mean, I have long arms and kind of lifted the outside wrist off, and I knew it was kind of a long drawn out play. So when I saw Lamar still had the ball, my instinct coming from the blind side was always trying to strip the ball, and he held onto the ball. I did it, and like it was like a euphoric feeling, to be honest. Like to make a play like that in a game so big, critical play. I think just that is me. That is me as a player. That is me as a defensive lineman. And I know it's going to be a little while till I'm back on the field, but I hope that the plays that I did make last year and see people see how much of the impact I made in a short period of time. Like I've said before, my biggest thing is just being respected across the league, not just with the Chiefs, but like the whole league, knowing that like, okay, when 9-0 come back on the field, we got to account for him. We got to make sure that he doesn't change the game, make a play or change the game. Because I think, especially this past year, I showed that like that's what that's what I do. That's what I'm gonna do.
Run that play back. You're telling me that you saw the detail by his stance? Ronnie Stanley tipping plays?
I mean, just during film study, like I could just tell when he was, you know what I'm saying, when it was going to be a pass, when it was going to be a run. He kind of tipped it off quite a bit. So I just used that. It's little things that you can use to get ahead in the game so you're one step ahead. So I saw that and I kind of just changed my mode as far as, like, all right, I'm gonna make this educated guess that it's gonna be a pass. Sometimes you gotta take a risk to get the reward.
And then, of course, the Super Bowl happens and you're not able to suit up. What is the worst part of that?
I think pregame was the worst. Pregame and the kickoff. Just seeing everybody warming up, I could feel the atmosphere of being at the Super Bowl, but then you on the sideline limping around. That was the worst of it all. I would just tell myself, you know, hopefully you can be back here and playing. Like, it was just it wasn't good. It wasn't a good feeling at all. I wanted to play so bad, especially being my former team out there last year. I felt away. I felt like, you know, this is my opportunity to show y'all, like, oh, you guys didn't want to pay me. Y'all let me go. So this is kind of like my opportunity to show y'all that like that was a horrible decision, and the fact that I wasn't able to do that against them, it's still, I've gotten over it now, but at that time it very much ate at me. And I saw our schedule came out though, and we do have them on the schedule next year. So I am hoping that it is around the time where I'll be back, because I really, really want to be available for that game.
What is your timetable? And we're going to get back to that, but what is your timetable? What's it looking like?
I don't.
Charles, don't look away. Listen, Ronnie Stanley, they're tipping plays. You just tipped your play. Don't look away. I'm too good. I'm like you. Come on now. What's up?
I mean, I think I'll reveal that in my YouTube.
Oh, good call. Smart man.
To give the people something to look forward to.
Well, you're smiling. But you're smiling, so I think it's a good sign.
It is a good sign. Like at the same time, I've accepted that, you know, I'm injured and I'm rehabbing, and that's going to take a little bit of time. But it's not going to be something too crazy long. And like I said, I'll be very interested once the schedule comes out and seeing who we have at certain time frames, and maybe
who are the teams you're most looking? Listen, you're in a contract year. You've got 1 year left. You got a lot to play for this year.
I am in the contract.
You're thinking about it every day of your rehab. I know it. You gotta show up this year. What are those extra games? What are those extra? You do it for your mom. That's your why. What are the games that you're looking forward to when that schedule release happens?
100% the Niners. 2,000% the Texans. If I could add another 1,000 for the Texans, I would. The Ravens, because I feel like drive wasn't finished.
Ooh.
I think that's. I mean, I know we have other really, really good opponents, but those three, I for sure remember on our schedule that we had. That I was like, yeah, that's really gonna be them games.
What is the? Maybe I should know this. I know a lot about you,
Texans?
but what's the D'Amico thing? You and D'Amico.
It might not really be D'Amico for real. It just, like the Texans drafted me, but just when the business shows itself early in your career, you keep that backlogged in your memory. And I just feel like I have a little bit more to show them too. I keep everything logged in my head till I feel like, everybody got different things that kind of push them.
Yeah.
And mine is definitely like, I've said this before, I want to be in that conversation, those defensive linemen that you like, you have to account for them. And the organizations I feel like have kind of just passed on by me and really didn't see me like that. I feel like I have a little bit more the word probably get back from.
And you popped on this. I remember you were drafted. You guys won the division that year. You won a playoff game, and then after that, this team sort of struggled, right?
Yeah, and I was a part of the group of guys that didn't fit the mold of what the top felt like was part of what's going to help them succeed. And all shouts to D'Amico and them though for bringing the city and the organization back to life. But I mean, like I said, I have many motivations. I also see people say that am I going to be the same player coming back from this injury? I think I've done it. I think I've.
Uh-oh. Oh no! Oh, things were getting so good. Because first I'm thinking, and we'll try to get him back. Hopefully, I'm sure our control was trying to get him back. But I'm thinking like, wait, I know the Texans drafted you. I wasn't aware of anything surly going on. He gets traded. The team struggled. Like they won the division, then they get flipped. He gets flipped. I guess he's what he's saying. He wasn't in the mold of what they were looking for. He gets flipped where he's with D'Amico. Which, they spent time together. So I was thinking like, and Hammy, I was thinking like maybe there's some sort of drama there, like with D'Amico, but he sort of said, no, that's not it at all. And he's saying it's, obviously he's being motivated by several factors, any people that are doubting him, or whatever, but I don't know. What is that? And, he's coming back on, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, and he brought up the business side of it, so you got to, John Lynch and the Niners moving on from him, and
Caserio, you are on notice.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get him back in here because Charles. But let's talk about good things then, because then you obviously go from you end up in Kansas City, and you've had a great career. You pop up on the scene. I can. You do your thing, and you deserve all the credit for that. But
can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So things happen how they're supposed to, is what I think. You get to Kansas City, you win a Super Bowl with them, and you deserve all the credit for your
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you too. I want to ask you a little bit about Kansas City because you make this huge jump. You play with the Niners. You're with DeMeco. None of that motivation is DeMeco based. You like DeMeco, it sounds like, and that was great and helpful to you. You go to the Chiefs where you're supposed to be, you know, and you do your thing, and you do it at such a crazy level. You always had success, but you made a big jump if we look at the numbers, right? What is it about Kansas City, that defense, and maybe even specifically Steve Spagnuolo that sort of unleashed your next level?
Yeah, I think the system is great. I think it ties in the D-line and the secondary really, really well. Spags does a good job of, in the secondary, take away the main option. I mean, the main option on the game plan is like, yo, he does not go off on us at all. And then Joe has really like tapped in on my end of my defensive line coach, Coach Cullen, tapped in on my end as far as like finishing and using my length more and understanding what's going to happen before it happens. And then, I mean, I can't forget about the guys around me too, Chris, George. Those guys really, really, when you play with guys who are on the same accord, everybody's kind of like, hey, we're going to do this as a group, and whoever gets to play gets to play, but like we're going to do it together cohesively. It makes it easy. And like, I mean, like, big shout out to Trent McDuffie, Justin Reed, Shamari, my boy LJ. Like, they made it easy on us. So when the quarterback holding onto the ball, it's easier for the D-line to be able to make plays. And thank God that I was able to really make this big jump and have the opportunity next year to do the same.
And Chris Jones, you mentioned him. We all see what he can do. Like, he just destroys. He dominates O-linemen left and right. What don't we see about how he affects this team? Maybe something off the field. Like, what don't we know?
Chris is he's just a great leader. I think that might sometimes not be talked about a lot, about how he pushes other guys. He's super unselfish. That is one thing I noticed. He's super unselfish. He want his guy, like, he want me and George to get off before he get off. Like, he's like, nah, y'all do y'all thing. I know they gonna probably double team me or, you know, have something for me, but y'all do y'all thing. And that's why, like last year, we was able to feast. Like, sometimes it'll be George that goes off, sometimes it'll be me that goes off, sometimes Chris that goes off, and then other times it'll be all three of us just having a day. Happened a few times but when we played Buffalo, when we played Cincinnati. I mean, if I was able to play the whole Baltimore game, I think it would have been even worse. But that just kind of just him being like, yo, I'm gonna feed off of y'all. Y'all get right, and then I'm gonna finish it off, kind of deal. And how he just motivates us to be better players every day. It's big.
It's big, and I hope you get a big deal after this year. You've got your contract year. Go get it done. You're smiling. You're tipping the play, but you're tipping the play on your recovery. You know what I like about you, Charles? It's called. First of all, you got a chip on your shoulder about the size of Kansas City, which is amazing, and I love that you are authentic about that. But I also like something that I do that you do. It's undersell. Undersell the recovery, undersell that, and then come out shot like a cannon week one. I can't wait.
Shot like a cannon. Nah, you saying it for me.
I am. I'm not. You're not saying anything. That's on me. Super Bowl champion Charles Omenihu. Check out his YouTube page. Check out his mom. Next time you got to take mom out of the club with you. That's the only thing I would say you did wrong.
No. I told her. She was like quick story. She was like, can I go with you? And I'm like, Mom, this ain't this. You know what I'm saying? Your time.
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah. This isn't a bingo club, Mom. All right. Bye, Charles.
Yeah.
Thank you. See ya.
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, Hamilton, I need to get that straight because I was like hearing a million different things. There was too much chaos going on. Who does he have, who is the beef with the Niners? Just John?
It seems to be just the fact that they moved on from him.
Is he just he's just mad that
he feels.
I'll have to
like,
ask stats about that. I don't know. I didn't know the innards of that one as much.
Yeah, because he didn't get as many opportunities there, and then obviously they move on from him, and he goes to the Chiefs. He was with the Niners last year in 2022, or in 2022 goes to the Chiefs last year. So I'm sure, the added disappointment of not getting to play in a Super Bowl, that revenge factor of playing the team that moved on from him the year before.
The fact that the worst part about the Super Bowl was because he couldn't take it to the Niners is like amazing.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. I really like him.
Oh, he was awesome. The coach in me hearing him talk about how he noticed
that was
Ronnie Stanley's stance on the film study. Yeah. That should be on his, and he's, when he does hit the market, you mentioned he's in the last year of his deal. Yeah.
Send it right to Brett. I wanted to ask him something about Lamar, but I just didn't. I wanted to sort of double back on what we were talking about with him to start the show, but there'll be another time for that.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's everything you want in a player right there. Putting in that work in the film room. And
no, go ahead. Hammer doesn't need me to finish his thought. Go ahead. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we're going to tell you guys about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. One thing to know about him, but we'll do that in a bit. But we're going to have Rothstein on here in about 30 seconds. Hamilton, if you could do me a favor and sort of get on helping Jordan with sorting that out as it was choppy,
Gotcha. Yep. I got you.
There's a lot there.
Oh.
I have to call stats after the show.
Yeah.
Chiefs fans got to be happy with his smile. All right, let's do this. DJ Reader's on the show. What? Okay, DJ Reader's coming up on the show. John Rosin stopping by to hit you up with some March picks, though. Everyone loves home runs, everybody. FanDuel's Dinker Tuesdays. You can love them even more. Dinker Tuesdays are back. Another season on America's #1 sports book. Just bet on a player to hit a home run. It's that easy. FanDuel gives you $5 in bonus bets for every home run hit during that game, as you need more ways to go and love FanDuel Sportsbook. Download the app, get it done. Okay, let's do this thing. We're going to hang out with John Rothstein, someone who doesn't care about baseball. He doesn't care about what's going on in the world. He doesn't have time for diddly squat because all he cares about is what's going on in the men's basketball tournament, and that is my next guest. And he doesn't sleep. He eats and breathes it, all of that. And you can check him out. He is the host. He somehow manages to find time to we're in 1930, record the Hoops Today podcast, which is amazing. You can see him all over CBS. John, I saw a clip and you were on the floor. You literally were on the floor in a studio.
It's an emotional time of year, Kay. You never know what's going to happen when the NCAA tournament is going to take you to depths of your emotions that you just didn't know were there. But I definitely had some of that last weekend, especially with all the storylines we have going into this weekend's Final Four in Phoenix.
How are you holding up after this Elite Eight?
It's emotionally draining for a lot of different reasons because you think about everything that's going on right now in terms of everything leading into the sport's most hallowed showcase, the Final Four, something that, again, can't be replicated by a great Super Bowl, a great Masters, a great World Series, an unbelievable pennant, maybe even an outstanding concert in the middle of July at MetLife Stadium. The Final Four in the NCAA tournament is its own separate entity. And think about the storylines we have right now going into the Final Four in Phoenix. UConn against Alabama, great offense against great defense. But there is a game within the game when you look at the Crimson Tide against the Huskies. When Dan Hurley was the head coach at Rhode Island, his first major recruit was a player by the name of E.C. Matthews out of Romulus, Michigan. Who was E.C. Matthews' high school coach? Nate Oates. Hurley and Oates go head-to-head now on Saturday in the Final Four. And then the other side of the bracket, we have the most dominant force we have seen in years in college basketball. The first player to win National Player of the Year honors in back-to-back seasons since Ralph Sampson did it in back-to-back years at Virginia in the early 1980s in Zach Edey. Purdue was thought to be the sentimental favorite The team that could replicate what Virginia did in 2019 by losing to a 16 seed one year and potentially winning the national title the next. But Purdue was only the sentimental favorite until NC State beat Duke to go to the Final Four for the first time since 1983. And I just want to add more context to just how surreal this NC State experience is.
Yeah.
NC State finished the regular season at 17-14. NC State finished the regular season on a 4-game losing streak. NC State was in a competitive game with Louisville at the start of the ACC tournament. And NC State against Virginia in the ACC tournament semifinals was trailing by 3 points when Virginia had Isaac McNeely on the foul line, somebody who shoots better than 80% from the line. He misses. Tony Bennett opts not to foul up 3. Michael O'Connell then for NC State does a double clutch bank shot to send the game in the overtime. The Wolfpack are on a 9-game winning streak. That game will be the player that obviously everybody remembers because of the shot by O'Connell, Tony Bennett choosing not to foul. And now NC State, much like Jim Valvano did in 1983, has a chance, in my opinion, to be one of the most improbable national champions that we've had in the history of the NCAA tournament. Okay, we've got four. I've got 4 words.
It's amazing.
America.
I'm so happy that you break it down. So you're such an encyclopedia, such an almanac, and such a great resource. I don't follow the game like obviously like a normal person at the bar, let alone the nitty gritty like you do. But when a name trickles to me, that means it's a big name, and it's DJ Burns, right? DJ Burns, he's got NFL interest, so it dips into my world. He pops into the scene. He's leading this storied, beautiful NC State squad, like you're talking about. He sort of, what I'm hearing, pops onto the scene and is leading this team. So I gave you homework. And I don't know how you squeeze it in and all of the stuff that you deal with, but would you indulge me? I said, you know what, I'd like to know who is the top 5 in John Rothstein's world, all-time March Madness, unlikely heroes a la Burns. Let's go top 5 quickly. Who you got?
Well, we have to start, I think, with Ron Lewis, who made the shot to tie the game against Xavier in 2007 in the round of 32. This is great. He was a role player on the Ohio State team that made the national title game and lost to Florida. Ali Faroukmanesh, who again made that 3 to put Northern Iowa up 4 on Kansas in 2010. Jamie Skeen, the Wake Forest transfer, who was unbelievable in the Elite 8 for VCU against Kansas in 2011. Tim Henderson, a walk-on, who hit back-to-back 3-point shots in the Final Four against Wichita State. And then, obviously, Amita Brima, who nobody talks about. But when UConn won the national title in 2014, it was down 3 to St. Joe's in the round of 64. Amita Brima got fouled, made obviously the layup, but then also was a below 50% free throw shooter and made the shot to tie the game. UConn won in overtime. Nobody remembers Amita Brima.
Okay, I will say, and this is coming in from my producers, Mountaineers, you're going to get a lot of heat for this, I'm hearing, because the people are going to be upset that Kevin Pitts-Nogle is not on the list. He was a backup that leads the Mountaineers to the Elite 11, John, or the Elite 8, the Elite 11.
Well, Kevin Pitts-Nogle to me is not unsung because for a while he was part of the vernacular of our country when you think about what he did, not just in 2005, but in 2006 as well. He was part of a team at West Virginia that went to the Sweet 16 and lost to Texas in 2006 when Kenton Paulino hit a game-winning shot at the buzzer, but then Texas lost to LSU with Tyrus Thomas and Glenn Big Baby Davis in the next game in the Elite 8.
One sentence answer. Does Alabama have a chance?
Do they have a chance? Yes. Do I think they'll win? No.
All right, John Rothstein, everybody, thank you so much. Good luck. Enjoy the next games, the anarchy, and the whole 9 yards. As I said, Elite 11 like an idiot. Thank you, John Rothstein. Appreciate you. Up next, one of my favorite guys. He's with the Lions. He's like, are we still friends if you're a Lion? DJ, I don't know. We got things to work out. And you're wearing a White Sox hat. Cubs girl. We have. Those are fighting words.
We're messing up there. I'm all on you. My bad. I was just.
Oh, I love DJ Reader. I don't know if I can be friends with him anymore. I mean, I like the Lions, but I don't love the Lions. Okay. Okay, guys, draft is how many days away? Somebody tell me how many days away. Okay, guys, the NFL draft is 23 days away, so it's time for one thing about ... Clemson linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. One thing about him is that he is not shy about following in his dad's footsteps, okay? It's always interesting when these prospects come in. They got the pedigree, the Nepo baby vibe. They've got NFL bloodlines. They're NFL dads. Some of them are hyper-focused on making their own name, like Joey Porter last year, like not very long ago. But Trotter, he welcomes with a warm hug the comparison to his dad / All-Pro / Eagles legend, okay? At the Combine, he said, quote, "I've never been the type to shy away from being the son of Jeremiah Trotter. I never really thought I was in his shadow. I never really thought there was pressure on me to make it. He's a great dad, and I always appreciate him." Okay, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., it shows. He wears his dad's number 54. He does the Axeman celebration, too, but there are some key differences that you need to know ahead of the draft. Pops played at 262 pounds, and while he did a little bit of everything, he was known more as a run stuffer. He had the battering ram vibe happening. He got downhill and just crushed people for a living, and we love that for him. Junior is 34 pounds lighter. Games change, he's changed. He's versatile. That's where he shines. In fact, according to PFF, guys, he was the only Power 5 linebacker to get an 80-plus grade in coverage and as a pass rusher. So he flies around, okay? He's well-rounded as it gets. Trotter's projections all over the map for this draft, okay? I've seen him anywhere from the first round to the fourth, so could we see him in Philly? That would be cute. I love a cute full circle moment. Or a wilder full circle moment. Spags was his dad's linebacking coach with the Andy Reid Eagles. Do we see a reunion happen? I don't know, but I'd love to see it. Wherever he ends up, I got a feeling we're going to see axe swinging in full force on Sundays. All right, there you guys have it. There's my one thing about for today. We're going to get you guys set for the draft. Hour of NFL talk and I guess some NCAA history. I don't even know what happened with that, but here we go. Welcoming my guy. Let's do it. Well. Who do we have here? 8 seasons in the NFL. Of course, the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now the newest member of the Detroit Lions defense. He also co-hosts Deej and Beej, which I love. It's a podcast on B-Scar TV. Welcome, the grave digger, DJ Reader. Is our friendship 6 feet under, I wonder?
No, I thought our friendship was good. I heard you in the break say you didn't know if we was gonna be friends again. I thought we were straight.
I just feel like between me and Coach Lou, no one's happy that you've left Cincinnati.
I know. Sometimes you can't make everybody happy. You know, that's how things go. We gotta make some decisions, and everybody can't be happy. But I'm happy.
Okay, tell me more about that. Let's talk. I'm happy for you, and I love you, and will always support you, of course. You get to Detroit. I haven't been to Detroit to witness or feel these vibes everybody talks about, what these games are going to be like, what these games were like all last year, what the energy is around Campbell, around the team. What is it like to be a Detroit Lion?
Well, I don't know nothing about the games yet. Yeah. From what I hear, it's going to be amazing. But I tell you, when I went in the building, everybody seems like they really, really enjoy working there. And that's like big for me. You know, the energy in that building was great. Coach Campbell, you know, talking to him, he's a guy looking straight in the eye. You can tell he really cares about ball. AG, super excited about defense, all that stuff. So it was a fun environment when you land there. You know, I didn't know much about the city. I don't know much about Detroit, so I'm excited to learn more. But there's a cool feeling, you know. It was a home welcome. When I walk in, I see 2 guys from Greensboro. It was a good time.
You know, you tore your left quad back in 2020, and you came back in 2021, and what happened? A career year. This time, it's your right quad. I know you have no doubt you'll be back better than ever. I have no doubt either. But I know that you would have liked to stay in Cincinnati at some point, right? Why did the talks fall apart?
I think things just take time, and I felt like I was there doing rehab, doing my thing, and the talks just never happened. And then they didn't happen until free agency happened. And by that time, I'm like, you know, I should probably go see like what else there's to offer, since it didn't seem like during that time that it was a focus of me being there. So, but you know, that might not have been the case. Might have had some other things to figure out, but that's just how I felt, and so just kind of how I took it. So I just really wanted to make sure I weighed all my options in at that time.
Now, Dan Campbell seems very different from Zach Taylor.
They do, but I think they both coaches who care about ball. And I think that's the cool thing. I think they both do a good job of like leading men. I think being a head coach more than just like the X's and O's thing. Like you have to be able to coach coaches and minimize like mistakes and make sure you're mingling between people and make sure everybody feels connected. And I think they both do a great job of that.
What's the first thing Dan Campbell said to you?
Oh, he just shook my hand super hard. Like he got a super strong grip.
Like Adrian Peterson? Like
a very strong handshake. He got big ass hands. That's the first thing I noticed when I shook his hand. I was like, damn, his hand's big as hell. But then it was like, he just talked to me just like how excited he was to get me there. And, I wasn't there yet. They only booked a one-way flight on my visit, so they was really trying to get this done. But I kept asking my agent, like, yo, when I'm going to get a flight back? Like, I need to get a flight home. He's like, yeah, if you got to go somewhere and let you. I was like, but other than that, he shook my hand and it was great, man. He just shook my hand, looked me in the eyes.
What do you mean he never, what did he say to you? He's a quote machine. I must know.
I don't remember words exactly, Kay. I'm not just like a first quote, something somebody says. I'm not that type of person. I just remember the moment. I remember the moment. Words are not what means to me. He just told me that he felt like, I was a part of a missing piece that they needed. And I think that was kind of the theme for the day. I think that was really like what most people talked about during all the meetings.
DJ, a one-way flight is crazy.
Yeah, I got there. Hey, I'm telling you, I look at the itinerary, I'm like, all right, it's got to be a flight home. And then it was like, nah. And then I kept asking my agent, I'm like, yo, when I'm going to get the flight home? It's like, they said they're going to book it. And I'm like, dude, it's like 5 in the afternoon. I still ain't got no flight back to the crib. Like, I've been up here since 8. I ain't got no flight back. We were trying to get this done. I was like, he's like, it don't seem like they're trying to let you out this building. So I was walking by one door. And some dude shouted out, he's like, we ain't letting you out the building until we get the deal done, man. I don't know who it was. I didn't even look at the door when he said it, but all I could remember is like those words getting said as I walked by. It was cool.
That's the statement from Dan Campbell. That is burn the boats. This is Hotel California. You can come, but you can never leave. And I bet that feels good.
Oh, it feels amazing to be wanted, man. That's the biggest thing. It feels great to be wanted. And that's all somebody wants in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to talk to you about your new sort of vibe here because the way you collapsed the pocket with the Bengals was just beautiful to watch, and I really enjoyed every snap on defense with you out there, and you sort of helped create these big sack opportunities for your boy Trey, who we know is a maniac, right? An absolute psycho. But Trey became an All-Pro for the first time last year. I'm so curious what you think about you and Aiden Hutchinson and how you can sort of elevate his game.
I think, I'll get a chance to help, create opportunities for him. You got him, Aleem in there. You got a lot of guys out there that just going to be great. And that kid's special. Like, he's just a special talent. You don't see people that size. Like, when somebody told me he was 6'8", I was just blown away. You don't see people that size bending the edge like he does, and he gets after it. And that's what I'm really more excited about, like the fact that he gets after it, he cares a lot about the game, and I just want to do what I can to help him get better.
I saw you were watching the NFC Championship game last year, and you tweeted this out. You said, Goff been him all year. You played 4 seasons with Joe Burrow, okay? What are the similarities, or what do you see about Jared Goff that made you tweet that?
I've just always felt like he got a tough rap. Like, I don't know what he did to people or anybody that made it feel like that he wasn't a very elite quarterback. I mean, he went to a Super Bowl. He went to another NFC Championship this year. And, when he's got time, when he can dial it up, I've always seen him make really good passes. I've never really seen him not put up points. You know what I'm saying? And I think that both of them are competitive. I think that they do a good job of commanding the locker room as well. Like, sometimes you can come in there and you can be one of the guys, but you can also – have to command the room. I think him and Joe Burrow do a good job of commanding the room. People respect them. And that's all that really matters. Like, if people respect you and you can go out there and play your game, people are willing to live with results. I think that's the biggest thing. People respecting you and you being fiery, and we know that you're going to compete with us.
I had somebody, one of his quarterback coaches from way back when, before college even, say that he came on my show the other day and said that he might be the MVP this year, that Goff is that dialed in, that he's that respected, that's going on. And you're going to have a big hand with that. But I do want to say, like, obviously, congrats on your new contract, congrats on your rehab, congrats on everything. But mostly, congratulations on getting put into MLB The Show 24.
Hey, you see it?
I don't know. You're wearing that stupid White Sox hat. How do you think they feel about this?
Hey, this is just a hat. This is a workout hat. I just came to work out today. I'm at the facility, just about to work out.
Wait, that's crazy, though. In 2013, you were a pitcher. You were a first baseman at Clemson. Did they do you justice on the mound there?
They did me justice, but, you know, Aleem was in the comments talking about he would have took me yard, which is crazy because I'd have had to sit my boy down. And I hope he see this. I hope he see this and it's clipped up. My boy, you could never get it off.
You could never.
You see Doug Blues right there.
You look at me. I mean, I can't size up. I can't size that stuff up. But we have 2 minutes. We're gonna do a little 2-minute drill. I'm going to ask you some questions because it's something we're calling the reader board. That would be question 8. Everybody, let's do it. It's super simple. I'm gonna ask you questions. You name the player or coach that you would put #1 overall on your reader board. Okay. I'm sure you watched Caitlin and Angel last night. Unbelievable. You have to coach those 2-on-2. Who's your #1 teammate on your reader board?
Oh, 2-on-2.
You have to play them 2-on-2, sorry.
I got to play. Who's my #1 player?
You have to play them 2-on-2. Who's your #1 teammate in the matchup?
#1 teammate.
Who are you picking between them?
T. Higgins. Like,
no, who are you picking between these two?
Oh, between them two? Caitlin Clark.
You're picking Caitlin Clark. Okay, they're advancing, of course. WrestleMania is this weekend. Of all your coaches, who's the one you're signing up to be your tag team partner at a match at WrestleMania?
Oh, my. Dan Campbell.
Easy with that handshake. Beyonce just put out a country album, Country Carter. If you had to record a country album, who are you putting as your #1 co-collaborator on this album?
Beyonce.
A player or coach?
A player or coach. My bad. That kid from Philly can sing. I can't think of his name. The guard.
Myalata?
Yeah, he can sing, right?
Okay.
I don't know many people that can sing like
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. There we go.
Then you got your Carter. Beyonce's got her Carter. I messed this game completely up. Sorry. Who's going on the top of the reader board for ultimate guest on the Deej and Beej podcast with Brennan Scarlett?
Ultimate guest. I got to get my boy JJ on. We got to get him on the show. We got to get him on the show.
I love when you come on the show. You're amazing. Have fun. Go beat Dan Campbell at something. You're the best. Love you. Congrats.
Much love.
Bye.